Yo, what is going on? Mario here in Fighting FX, in Fighting Exchange. And yeah, we were going to always go live today because Spider-Man is out today. We're going to go see it here tonight, here in just a bit. And so tonight was supposed to be a cool, just chill, like, hey guys, what do we want Spider-Man to be heading into Doom? And, talk about the really awesome Roach Sabetha fight that's happening tomorrow that's not getting nearly enough attention. Um, well, I'm not saying they're doing a bad job of promoting. I'm saying that fight fans, I don't know. It just seems like I just expected more people to be interested because this is such a good fight. But nope. Turns out we got a big ass fucking thing just happened just a little bit ago. So if you're just now finding out, shout out to Machine Gun Matt said, shout out Bill Haney. Matt, if you're still there, I'm gonna send the link in the chat. That's only for Matt. How about that? Let's talk about a duck. I mean, what the fuck? I didn't even mean to rhyme any of that. Okay, I think it just sent to YouTube only, but if you're an X, go to YouTube and then hit follow and then click the link to go live. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'll put it in X in a little bit. But if you do want to jump on right away, YouTube is definitely the best way to do it. Shout out to everyone on IG for reminding me to go live in the first place. Listen, if you didn't, hold on, let me okay. Max, I'm just going to hold you on mute for just a second while I talk about the breaking news that just came out a few moments ago, or about an hour ago or so. Shout out to Machine Gun Matt, who put it first in the chat. I was like 2 minutes that, like, literally I click on the link and it's like 2 minutes ago. And Mike Coppinger is reporting, actually, let me just show it, that Keyshawn withdraws as mandatory challenger for Haney's WBO title. I'm assuming he's still writing up the post because I went to Ring Magazine and it wasn't up. So I'm assuming he's still writing the article. This is something that you do as a, writer. You want to be first, obviously, and if you have the scoop, you wanted to get it out there. And then put the 500 words together a little bit later. So that's probably what's going on. So hopefully we'll get a little more detail. But he did obtain a letter, on behalf of the Ring Magazine for morons that don't understand why that's not a different thing. People in the chat or people in the comments are like, why are you saying the Ring obtained it? They're saying you obtained it. It's like, dude, tell me you don't read at all without telling me you don't read at all. Tell me that all you do is look at the fucking headlines and watch videos without telling me. Like, that's the most, like, you just identified yourself as one of the biggest marks and dipshits on social media today. Like, Mex was talking about having to have a test for voting. Honestly, we should have a test for social media. And I don't think any of those people would fucking make it, but whatever. That's neither here or there. Anyway, the point I'm making is that the argument and the debate that we had 24 hours ago has now come to fruition, and it appears as though Keyshawn Davis, whose promoter won with an 8 million plus purse bid, is set to withdraw his challenge from Devin Haney for the WBO welterweight title. And so in that letter that was obtained by Mike, I'm sure we'll, figure out and learn more about what is in there. I have so many questions, but the biggest question on my mind is like, did Davis, did he just want to have the shittiest weekend possible? Like, I don't understand. Like, you did it at this moment, and like, all I can assume is you don't need your phone this weekend. Like, whatever you're doing, like you're going camping or you're going to like the mountains or some shit, like you don't need your phone. You're not going to be on social media, so you don't give a shit. So I get that. Maybe your chick's coming over for the weekend, right? And so, like, what do you need your phone for, right? And so fine, I get all that. do what you will. But if you're just going to be like still chilling on your phone, you know you're going to get a lot of shit, right? And I'm not even, and here's the thing, let's not even get into the right and wrong of it. Let's not even get into what a duck means and what, if this is actually a duck, which we'll get into all of that here in just a bit. Mex, I think, will help us out the most with this. But last night, you had Super Mex on this show literally telling everybody how Keyshawn was in a box. And so many people on the chat, I mean, not so many people, but there were a few people, and then after on the show, who just wanted him to be wrong, right? They wanted Top Rank to have done the right thing. They wanted Keyshawn to have not overplayed his hand. They wanted all those narratives to not be true. But now we get to this point, and it doesn't matter what actually happened. The narratives. Mex said this the other day, too. He said it yesterday, I think. History is written by the winners, right? This is all loser shit. And so Keyshawn has no handle on the narrative anymore at all. This, in all logistics, this might not be an actual duck, right? Like, let's say he's fighting Tank next. Well, that wouldn't be a duck, right? He's getting a bigger fight with Tank. I mean, obviously that's not what's happening, but I'm just saying there are instances where this isn't a duck, but that's not what anyone's going to consider. 90% of everybody is going to be like, dude, this is a bad look, because it's a fucking bad look. And it's not a bad look simply because he doesn't want to fight Haney and you know, fall into the trap that he put himself into. Fine. Let's like put all that to a side. But this is on top of you shitting the bed, missing weight in front of your hometown crowd. You shitting the bed, missing weight before having to move up in weight class because you said this was the problem, right? This is after asinine social media posts. And you could argue that, you know, that stuff is just to make clicks and all PR is good PR. Fair enough. But it all plays to the same narrative. Keyshawn is like the Lil Pump of fucking boxing. You know, he's the Little Xan of boxing. He's just a phony. He's a fake. He's a loser. And this isn't me. I'm not saying this about him. Obviously, I very much respect Keyshawn Davis. I want to make that very clear. I'm saying what the internet is feeling. I'm telling you how the internet perceived him when, I'm not even going to say the names, but two of the biggest celebrities in the world made him look like a clown before he even became a professional. If you are the clown in the clown show and you want to be seen as the lion roaring to the crowd and scaring them shitless, then don't do clown shit. This is clown shit. My bad, Mix. Let me I think my bad. Okay. Shout out to Mex. You are live. Can I hear you? Let me see.
Yo.
Sound great. Perfect. Listen, Mex, first of all, I want to give you your flowers for less than 24 hours ago explaining why you felt as though this situation was going to leave Keyshawn in a worse place and Haney in a better place. And you said that this is the most likely scenario we would get. Less than 24 hours later, you're proven right.
Yeah, I'm not one to toot my own horn, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Yo. Go ahead. Yeah, no,
okay, can you hear me?
You sound great.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So, look, Keyshawn Davis, his nickname Mario is the businessman, and they need to change that.
Damn, Mex's joke got so fucking ruined
yesterday.
Mex, you gotta repeat the joke, dude. It literally, you completely.
Oh, got him in it. Okay, chop that up.
Nobody heard it, so go ahead, just repeat it. Pretend you didn't say anything. Hey, Mex, what's up, man? We can hear you perfect. What's going on?
Yo,
can you hear me?
I might just be in a bad. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly, but I'm assuming you can't hear us. Yo, Mario, out eating a burger, but this sounds like a duck to me. Shout out to Shoe Shine in the building. He never even got the 1.3 purse when he missed weight. Bro, this is what I'm saying. Like, if you want to be like, oh, uh, like I can spin this into a way where this isn't a duck. I can spin this into a way where Keyshawn is like the fucking smartest guy in the world, right? But that's all spin narrative, right? What's actually happening right now is this is the second fighter that Haney has set standards and said, okay, let's fight then. And the person's responded and said, this is what I want. And then he said, okay, well, let's go ahead. And the second fucking time now, dude, this is crazy. This is insane. And yet, you gotta believe that he's like, I fucked up a lot and people still fuck with me. Like, as long as I'm winning in the ring, I can be like, look at Fury. And I'm not trying to make fun. You know, I don't like making fun of addiction at all. You know, like the Hunter Biden stuff always bothered me. I'll be honest. I mean, obviously when we thought it was like Burisma shit, I was upset about that, but it just always bothered me because like I have addiction in my family, so I understand like what it is to a degree, obviously. And you know what, even me, like I've said it before in college, I think I might have been an alcoholic. And I think when you might think you're an alcoholic, you probably were an alcoholic. It's not that I can't have a drink today without stopping at one or two, but back then I couldn't. And so I don't want to like harp on that at all. But that said, it's like, oh, people are going to talk shit. People are going to talk such shit about this. Look, I think that some people grow up and there's like attention whores. They're addicted to the attention. Okay. And I believe that Keyshawn has gone far enough in some of these situations and he's bounced back perfectly fine. So that's the only thing that I can rationalize with. Mex, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound perfect, but now you had only cut out at that one moment, so I was assuming you couldn't hear me.
No, I drove through a dead spot.
That makes sense. So Mex,
yeah, and I think we got a bit of a delay.
Got you. So Mex, let's talk about it. What do you think 24 hours after you very much called a lot of the stuff that would come to fruition? What do you think about this news 24 hours later? Less than.
Yeah, like I said, change his name from the businessman to the bad businessman. And I just genuinely didn't understand what everybody thought was going to happen. Like, people for some reason thought that like the Haneys were backed into a corner when, again, history shows us Devin is taking the fights. He's never turned down a fade. And you brought it up great just now, right? This is the second fighter that Haney has done this to. You know, he years ago. And that's the thing about it, right? This whole, like, Keyshawn got used as a pawn because Shakur didn't want to take the fight, and we've had our discussions about that. I can go into that a little bit later. And he pretty much tried to put the roadblock of Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis gets on the internet, starts talking crazy, then says he doesn't, not going to take a small deal, turns down $3 million to turn around and get offered even less by his own promotional team. Once Top Rank bid so little, I think even Top Rank knew the fight wasn't going to happen. And it's just a bad look for Team Davis. Really bad look now for Shakur Stevenson, who doesn't have an opponent lined up. But guess what? Like I've been telling Alex for weeks now, you can pretend like Zuffa's going to do what's better for the sport. Again, we tore down the old streets, and Zuffa built up a new street, and now Shakur Stevenson will be hanging out across the street away from everybody.
Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Booker man himself, the guy that's got probably all the bookings already for night one and night two ahead of time. Abe Gonzalez, fightsatw.com, creator, owner, editor in chief. Abe, we had this conversation less than 24 hours ago, and I did not tell people what you said because I don't reveal personal texts to people. However, I did pass a lot of your ideas off as my own last night, so thank you for that. I gave you the credit. I just didn't say what you said. You as well had your finger on the pulse on this one. In fact, when I was of a certain mindset seeing this play out, thinking, oh shit, Jay Prince put the shake on everybody, you were very quick to put this all in perspective for me and say, whoa, wait, understand where Keyshawn's at this point, after everything that's gone down, after the money he asked for. Abe, what has gone on in this last 24 hours? Where are we? Explain the situation.
Shit, listen, man, it's a little bit. Look, I'm not into the calling somebody a dog or anything like that. I'm not gonna do that. Um, it's it's hard to, if you're someone that supports Keyshawn Davis, it's hard to take a defensive stance for him when he does something like this. I mean, and that's the most polished way you can say whatever you name calling stuff, whatever people are gonna say, right? The purse, whatever that was negotiated before, Keyshawn, wasn't with it, or whatever the case may be, as far as how much it was, felt like he needed more. As soon as the thing went to the purse bid, I mean, he already knew what that was going to look like. Some of these guys, I think they need to understand what the reality is. The fight, even, what was it, like the total purse was like 8 million or something. That's even a lot of money for those two guys in the business sense of it. For Top Rank to make money, like, that's even a lot of money. Like, you still got to recoup that, right? And so, they said that. I think I heard somebody say something about that. The Top Rank bid too little. It was, the amount of money total was more than what them two can probably bring in. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. It's the reality of the business. Now, we don't know what Keyshawn's minimum is. That's a key part of it here. If Keyshawn's minimum is like $1.5 million, and he's getting 2.5 on this purse bid split, then Top Rank is already meeting their requirements, right?
Yeah.
So if he's wanting more than that, that's a personal problem. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Sure.
They're meeting their contractual obligations by offering him a purse that supersedes his minimum.
So
if they are doing that, then they're doing their job. Period.
Is there, in a way, a similar, obviously the situations are very different, very, very different, but to a degree, the same argument we're hearing from fans that were so mad about Rick and Verge's manager and what he did in that situation versus what Golden Boy was trying to do. Is there, to a degree, a similar situation here where the optics are not controllable, right? And it looks like a duck, but in the reality of things, it is simply one side working towards what they believe their fighter to be worth, or he believes himself to be worth.
Yeah, it's tough because I think in the Virgil situation, it kind of was the same with the minimums, right? Golden Boy was meeting their minimums, and Virgil felt like at this time, he should be getting more, and I think they renegotiated that part, if I'm not mistaken, to where his minimums is a little higher. So
yeah,
and the same thing happened, I think, with Ryan as well. Is Top Rank going to do that? I don't think so. I'm not gonna speak for them, but I don't think that they're gonna value the situation that much. You know,
Yeah.
Well,
they're gonna be
and
like
to your point, Abe, it's like Mario brought up earlier. There's been so much happen with Keyshawn leading up to this point that do they trust him to raise his minimum? Like that's a big question that I think a lot of people, if you're Top Rank, would want to ask.
yeah, I mean,
It's a fair point.
um, you know, you don't know what weight division he's gonna fight in because he made a pit stop at 140. He's at 147. We don't know if that's going to be a pit stop too. And then, you know, then you start talking about 154 and bigger guys like that. Yeah, there's trust is a word that is going to be involved in all of these different types of conversation. I don't know if the trust is there or not.
Hmm.
In all different ways. And man, it's a tough situation. And just so you guys know, not to defer from this, but real quick, Manny Pacquiao Promotions CEO Jazz Mather, he sues Jonah Rakinitz, who's Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s former business manager,
Ooh.
and the guy's father for $8.3 million fraud lawsuit.
Yo,
Yeah, shit is crazy.
that
God
story's
Almighty.
been crazier and crazier. Yo, Abe, listen, you said that you don't like calling fighters ducks, and that's because obviously you've been in the business for a very long time. You understand the nature of this, right? That said, though, these kinds of optics right now, right? Because we're coming off of Keyshawn and some, unflattering moments on social media. His overreaction when Cruz lost his first fight, I think, that rubbed a lot of boxing fans the wrong way. Obviously, missing weight, all those things. Being in this position, like, is it a must that he has another fight? Like, or is this a culture of media that's so short that nobody will remember this in 2 years if he's fighting the fights? Then what do you think this impact has actually on his brand right now?
I just wonder if this impacts him fighting again this year.
Oh shit, I didn't even think of that. This opens a can of worms that has to be dealt with before you can even start doing business.
Yeah, like
Not only that, because who's available at 147 if that's where he's fighting?
Exactly.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and this is the thing. I mean, you know, Top Rank isn't a win-win though, because the next available contender is Brian Norman Jr.
Fuck. All in house. You
Yeah. And then
yeah.
then after that is Teofimo, who's obviously got a fight in August. But then after that, guess who's after that? Manny Pacquiao.
Yo, that's nuts. That is nuts. Shout out to Alex. He said Top Rank should threaten Keyshawn to replace him with Tiger Johnson. Tiger would take the fight. Yo, everybody thinks Tiger's like ready to jump in there.
Now, this is the thing also. You got to understand that the fact that Keyshawn, it was a 75-25 split by the WBO just kind of also tells you where he's at, right? Because if his profile was a little higher, then the split would be a little closer, right?
Yeah.
But there's some folks that,
I mean, but you got to be a pretty high profile guy to negotiate that split as a mandatory. We've seen it done, but I mean, how? I don't think it's ever been past 35%.
I'm trying to remember. There was a purse bid in the last like year or two where it was really close to like 50-50. Not 50-50, but it was real close to it, if I'm not mistaken. But I'd have to really look into that. But I want to say that there was one that was closer than that. I can't remember which one it was though.
I asked Mex this yesterday on air. I know I asked you too, but I really love your opinion here. For all of the purse bid heads out there, right? What is what do purse bids mean right now after this situation that we've seen played out? And obviously purse bids have always been a chaotic thing that, are manipulated by promoters, in different ways. That said, everyone under DAZN, the fights, basically the money coming from essentially the same place for a lot of them. Are purse bids even like real anymore? Is it kind of ceremonial at this point? What do you think, Abe? Do they matter as much today?
Yeah, I think they still do matter. DAZN, obviously they allocate a budget for these promotional companies. They still got to work within that budget. But for certain cases, like for Haney, when the purse bid doesn't or may not cover their minimum that they have on their deal directly with DAZN, then DAZN's going to have to fill in the difference, right? So I think it's still valid. You still have your your guys like MF Pro or whoever that they may like a fight and say, you know what, we want that fight. And yeah, they fall into the zone, but they have their own budget or whatever to work with, and they might want to do it, or I don't know, Pro Box, right? Like maybe Pro Box wants to put up some money or whatever. So I mean, there is still a point. But until fights get signed, fights can get ordered by a sanctioning body. They can do these purse bids and all that. But until people sign the dotted line, there is no fight. So, damn. I mean, it is what it is.
Yo, Mex, what does it say to you after the last 24 hours played out? I know you gave me an answer yesterday, but now after this, what are your thoughts on purse bids? I mean, you've always been somebody who's had a very critical response to them and called out when they've been bullshit in the past.
Run that one more time, Mario. I'm sorry.
I'm just asking you about the reality of purse bids today and the logistics of them being where the sport is today. And after what you've seen in this last 24 hours, do they have as much weight as they had, let's say 10 years ago, 5 years ago?
I think so. And, like Abe brought it up, right? How like 8.5 million was actually a pretty big number. I mean, we looked it up yesterday, Mario. I think it was like a top 5 purse bid of all time.
Yep.
Because usually when the fight's big enough, it's oftentimes unification. So no need for purse bid. And also, like, if the fight's big enough, somebody's gonna be content to make the fight happen. And as much as maybe they felt like Keyshawn and Devin was growing some legs and really gaining steam, it's really not that big of a fight just yet. Keyshawn is still a bit of a up and coming commodity, and I'm gathering to think that a lot of people don't look at Keyshawn almost like a bully. You bring up the tactics he's had on social media, the misweight, and on top of the fact that what happened with the incident when the guy beat his brother and they jumped him backstage.
I forgot all about great point.
Yeah, Keyshawn's value just not where he wants it to be at the moment.
Yeah, and then Shakur, I don't know if you guys talked about that, where he tweeted, he was like, "Yo, Bill Haney, Devin Haney, let's go. I'm here still saying the same thing. I've been calling my bluff now. Nick and Dana's waiting. We will do business with DAZN too. 144. Let's scrap."
Damn, I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all.
I mean, yeah. Let's see if it happens. I hope it happens. I mean, that was the original fight that everybody wanted. So, Keyshawn evidently just.
The thing is,
Haney seemed to be a roadblock.
Haney trying to get down to 144. I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, that I said that the first time too, Abe, because it's like these guys are in their pinnacle.
It's hard to say. He's only fought once at 47. He's also been out a year, so that's where the concern may be. But
good point.
I don't know that. I mean, you talked about, do we see Keyshawn the rest of this year, Abe? I'm wondering if we see Devin at all this year.
Yo, that would be a big drop off. They don't get a
I think we see Devin before we see Keyshawn.
Yeah, I think that
You know,
feels like
if this thing doesn't get fixed. Now, this could be a situation where maybe Keyshawn is negotiating a release from Top Rank.
yo. I didn't think of that. That could be very well a possibility. In fact, Alex wanted to ask this question earlier,
And I
asking
would
does this
assume that
possibly
would
open.
be he gets released from Top Rank, and now he's going to try to head over to Zuffa, right? Because
That's what
that'd be
Alex is
the
asking.
logical
Yeah,
next choice.
that's what
Yeah.
Alex is asking. Abe, what do you think? Is that's obviously a possibility?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, I
Abe,
don't
I was
know.
telling Mario earlier, I felt like Top Rank knew before they sent the bid in that Keyshawn was going to turn this. Like, there's no way that they didn't inform his management of what the bid they were going to send was going to be. I just feel like it was all just formalities at the point it was when they offered, what they did. The only little buzz I personally felt like we got was just, Tio trying to troll everybody and make a $2 million bid.
Yeah, that actually worked well for him too.
Yeah. I mean,
But
listen,
what do you think, Abe? I feel like there's no way James Prince and Keyshawn's management didn't know going into the day that was going to be the number that Top Rank was going to bid.
Great
yeah,
question.
I mean, yeah, I have to believe that all parties involved knew what the deal was. There was probably a reason why Keyshawn was real quiet during that whole process.
Yeah,
Didn't really
yes.
didn't really say anything or whatever. I'm thinking that he was just like, yo, it is what it is, and maybe wanted it all to play out first and then, finalize his decision on, nah, I'm not doing it.
Yo, that is like, oh man, that's like such this is all very significant
But
stuff,
yeah,
right?
I
It's
mean,
like
just
it's not
just
the way
not
it
the
used to
best look
work.
for Team Davis right now. There's really
Agreed.
no other way to spin that. I don't think he's a duck either, but it looks like bad business right now.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does look like bad business, and I would say that um I just wonder, what that situation is with Davis and Jay Prince right now, because Jay Prince apparently had negotiated him to get like 3 million or something like that, and he wanted 5 or something. I don't know
Yeah, it
what.
was something like that.
Yeah, but Keyshawn is not a $5 million fight. I'm sorry.
No,
Like
not
what?
yet. Not yet.
Like Keyshawn won one title, um, but who has he really fought?
Exactly.
And see, this is the thing that people like miss. Like, yeah, you might take it in the shorts for this one, but you beat Devin Haney, you can ask for double on the next one. Like,
Damn.
what are we talking
Yeah.
about here? But
Yeah, that was that that's the old Floyd Mayweather route. He took the short deal versus Oscar, even versus Gotti, and turned around and cashed the chips and winning the fight.
Great.
Yeah.
Great
I mean,
point.
you got to bet on yourself. Now, some can say if he wanted more money, was it because he wasn't too confident in the fight and was trying to cash out? Because a big loss to Haney would really like put a dent in his career. What if Keyshawn Davis gets knocked out by Devin Haney? Like, his stock would take a big hit off of that, right?
Yeah.
But then on the reverse side,
Yeah.
he dominates Devin Haney. His stock is all the way up, right? And then now all of a sudden,
Yeah, because then he's in line for all the fights.
there you go. So
Role reversal.
I want to know what you think of Nico possibly joining Zuffa and the Ali. Listen, I'm already like exhausted over all that stuff. It's it's already, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. They're talking about the bill getting passed by like next July, whatever. It's one of those things where they're waiting it out, right? They have the time and the money and the resources to kick the can down the road. People will forget about this thing 3 months from now. In January 2027, do you think people are going to be talking about the Ali Act?
Probably not.
Probably not. They're going to keep it moving. And then by then, they'll do whatever they need to do. And then
it'll pass, and then it'll have the round of buzz, and that's it.
Yeah. And then that's it. And then it'll be gone.
Yeah,
It'll,
absolutely.
it'll be a blip.
Listen, before I let y'all go, Roach,
Yeah.
Zapeta, Abe,
Um,
or go ahead, Max. You
hey,
go for it.
going back to the Keyshawn thing, right? I think a mistake a lot of fighters make is they try to base their purse off of their opponent's guarantees. Like if you went in there trying to base your purse off of Devin Haney's last two fights, which were Turkey Al Sheikh paydays, that was where I think he miscalculated and overvalued himself coming in as the opponent because 5 million. I mean, I'm like you. I see Keyshawn as maybe $1 million fighter, maybe even 2 million. So 5 was just, I think that was him trying to base it off of comparing it to Devin's purse. And that's just, that's where you shoot yourself in the foot.
Well, that's why Turkey doesn't tell the other person what they're getting. He offers you your purse, you either take that or you leave it. And then he tells the other guy the same thing. They don't know each other's purses. You know, Fury didn't know what Usyk was getting paid.
And that's what I'm saying.
Versa.
And that's what I'm saying. So Keyshawn, hearing all the reports of all this big money offer, comes in and he's like, well, if Dev's making 12, 15, 20 million, I need 5. And it's like, man, where do you think that comes from? Because I agree with you. Even if they fought in Atlanta, I don't know where Top Rank recoups 8.5 million.
I don't see
anywhere they have the fight. I just don't see.
Nah,
I don't see a lot of places spending that on the site fee. Your sponsorship's gonna be what it is. Like I just don't see it.
Yeah, them $25 Coronas better be on deck.
Yeah, that cup better be like $100.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, like I said, because it's just right now, like the narrative is gonna be Keyshawn really didn't want the fight. He ducked the fight. Like I said, because and hearing Bill and you know, I don't know how often you've interacted with Bill, Abe. But like just hearing him talk, and I've interviewed him several times. It seemed yesterday he was on the Boxing Voice, and I get the impression from Bill that he knew that they weren't, and he, especially because he was essentially cut out of the negotiations, that if this fell through, there's not going to be any more dealings with for the foreseeable future. His exact words were, if he don't take it, he's going direct to the back of the line. So. This Keyshawn Dev thing, I would assume is going to be pretty much dead at this point.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I guess the best thing that Dev can do, I mean not Dev, Keyshawn can do right now is to address the situation, because the longer he waits for it to not address it, the worse it's going to be.
Well said. Absolutely right.
Yeah. Now Roach Zapata. Oh man, why do I feel like it's gonna be a draw?
That vibes, for sure. That vibes.
Yo, and 3 draws in a row for Lamont Roach. It's got to be nasty.
That would be nasty work.
Just got to be nasty. I don't think I've ever seen a fighter at the top level get 3 back-to-back draws.
Yeah, it's just I just feel like this fight is gonna be like 6 rounds that Roach is gonna be on. And then 6 rounds that Zapata is going to be on. I just feel like it's going to be like that. It's going to be that type of fight.
That's
because
logical.
This is the thing.
Kind of like the Pitbull fight.
It's almost exactly like the Pitbull fight. It's going to be almost like exactly like that. The only difference would be if Zapata could once again find that body work that he abandoned the last couple of fights, and dig down to that body and work Roach down, wear him down early. You know, maybe he might have him, you know, a little more stationary late and be able to catch him. But you know, Roach's footwork is gonna have to be on point.
Yeah.
And they're both in a must-win situation here. Like Zapata, you don't want to pick up another loss so soon. And with Roach, it's like, man, if you lose, you know, we know how boxing fans spin the narrative. It's going to be like, oh, well, he really lost the last 2, regardless of what we saw in the ring versus. I had him beating Tank and Pitbull, but boxing fans are a special kind of creature. So where if he comes off 2 draws, then loses, Well, he lost all 3 of those
Yeah,
fights.
that's
and
it. Exactly.
he takes
They'll
a
just
massive
lump
hit.
it all up. Yeah.
All of it. Yep. You're
Yeah,
right.
he takes
You're
a massive
absolutely
hit. I mean, look at Barrios. Right now, Barrios comes off 2 draws, loses to Ryan, and now everybody's like, oh, he needs to retire. He's washed. He's
bro.
you know, finished. Roach finds himself in a similar situation coming into tomorrow night.
Well said.
Yeah.
Abe,
Yeah.
you want to give your channels before we get out of here?
Yeah, at AbeG718 on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, and then it's AbeG Boxing on YouTube, and fightsatw.com is the website. My man Jacob Rodriguez just dropped one on the Ring Magazine comic book, the first edition. He spoke to Doug.
Badass.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
he spoke to Doug Fisher about that. So you know, I just posted that a little bit ago. So check that out. Check out some other
big
stuff.
Weekend for fightsatw.com. Got the Sabella fight covering, SummerSlam night 1 and night 2. So everybody keep it locked in. Appreciate you jumping on, Abe.
All right, man. Peace.
Mex, you want to give out your social real quick?
Mario, I'm going to jump off and jump right back on because I heard Abe clearly. I cannot hear you. So give me just a second.
Sounds good. Listen, I want to thank everybody who jumped on last minute show. Actually, let me do it this way. You know, just to cover this breaking news that we got. And so thank you for everybody who tuned in. Infighting FX is the channel. We're going to be live all weekend long. So make sure you're tapped in. Appreciate Mex for jumping on. Appreciate Abe for jumping on. Shout out to Machine Gun Matt and Alex in the chat. Shout out to Shoe Shine as well. And everybody that was on in IG. We will be back later tomorrow. Actually, maybe I'll come on after Spider-Man. Who knows? Just to give my small little take. But until then, appreciate everybody. Peace.